only because you had these kind of games like Mortal Kombat and Night Trap and stuff like that that made some level of mainstream attention. You know, like Mortal
Okay,
Kombat was clearly like ridiculously like over the top
Gory.
violence.
off of this so far, I will say that the Great Fairy from Zelda showed more than she did.
Oh god, yeah. Again, like I'm not like that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone because like this is such an awful like world to live in that like one of the most regular jobs for women is being an erotic dancer. Like I wouldn't blame them for not having their back in it either. Like they are literally earning the most basic of living, and he could very well just be like the fucking mistress or in the thrall of like some other like rich pimp. You know what I mean? Like it's not a nice like again everything about this whole world is meant to be unpleasant, and it shouldn't come as a surprise that women suffer from it. Um, but on that point about the whole like the with this of raised eyebrows, I'd say no, because ultimately this game would have been made for fans of Blade Runner. It wouldn't have really kind of like it would have kind of stayed in its niche of like being a kind of like an adult oriented game. Whereas I think
No.
with Mortal Kombat, because it was an arcade machine, it was kind of seen to be having kids could play this arcade machine and get like tainted by its violence. Likewise,
Partly
Night Trap would have been a console game, so therefore it was theoretically possible. From the box art, you wouldn't think it was anything kind of like too controversial, but you could play it as a child and then get weird ideas about strangling women, which is
yeah.
the genuinely what the fucking thought process was at the time.
That's strange. I didn't
And,
hear
part
about
and
part
it.
now,
part of me would wonder if
I
this
just
game
wanted to
got put
say,
out
wow,
today,
you were
like
awe-inspiring.
a game of this caliber
Well,
got put out
thank you very
today
much,
alongside a
Mr.
film. So I don't know
Ray McCoy.
Is there something I can do for
what
you,
has come
Mr.
out recently.
McCoy?
Like I would have to imagine, I'd
That's
have to
such an
wonder
unusual
if a
belt as
game
an
could get put
antique.
out alongside
They
a
say
film
it's
and
from
then
the
the game
last
have to
century.
issue out an apology
Those
for the
little
caliber of the
creatures have
game.
always been my favorites.
Again, like games have pushed the envelope
Yes.
more since. Like
And I
again,
will
like if the
gladly
likes of
change
like
them.
Manhunt
Tell you the
and
truth, I'm from the
kind of
LPD.
GTA
I'd
games
like
can
to
get
ask you
away
a
with a
few
certain
questions if I
level,
could.
this
Jesus,
is
yeah,
light.
Manhunt actually got
Because I
such
could tell
controversy
you.
at the time.
Did any other pieces
Yeah, yeah,
come
and
with
the
the
second
belt?
Manhunt in particular
I'm
just
sure I
like
don't know what you
went
mean.
beyond the fucking pale.
You buy a
So like,
vehicle lately?
like
A
the
black
envelope has
sedan?
been pushed well enough that
I
like this
wasn't
would be
aware
actually be
that was a
quite banal.
crime.
Yeah.
Buying the car isn't.
In a
Using
way
the
for an
car in
adult
an
game, you're
animal
almost
murder
like
will.
expecting some level of
Animal
partial
murder.
nudity or
That's
like something
horrible.
erotic. Like this, I wouldn't even you wouldn't even call this
I haven't
erotic in
seen
a
the car
sense.
for
This is
2
just like
days. It was
a
stolen the
very
day after I
depressed
bought it.
woman doing a
Yep.
job
Is
she
that
doesn't want to
right?
do.
Any
You know?
reason you didn't tell
She
me
lost
that
her car
right
there.
off?
You didn't ask.
Animal murder's pretty horrible.
Yes.
So
Any murder is
her
horrible
responses are
and
quite stunted.
unfortunate.
Some are
Mhm.
worse than others.
But death's the same for all.
No argument
same
there.
for all.
Hmm.
There's a little
She's a
also-
town.
replicant killer.
Do you think I'm a replicant?
Oh, Casey's gonna go
Is
for it.
that what this is
She thinks it's a
about?
replicant.
If
I
it's
don't think she's
early
rapping.
Q,
I think
I'll
she's
hug
just
you
suffered
any way
trauma.
you want.
Okay.
Not exactly.
Let's see.
This is insane. I have a family, a daughter, for heaven's sake. Look, I'm willing to testify against early Q. A replicant wouldn't do that, would it?
A replicant doesn't necessarily care about what happens to another replicant.
Then you must be a replicant.
I'm sure I'm not.
How do you know you're not a replicant? Did you ever take that test yourself?
Sure I did. Long time ago.
Well, that just sounds
Don't
like
replicants go around with false memories?
those
Maybe
cliche like
somewhere
ask a
along the
robot
line
what
you
love
killed a
is.
human, took his
Yeah,
place, and your
essentially, yeah.
superiors don't even know about it.
Interesting idea. But I'm still gonna give you the test.
Okay. Here's here's another void contest.
Right. I'm going out and
Reaction
I'm
time is
saying not a
factor in this,
replicant.
so please pay attention.
Okay, and Casey's
Where do
saying
you live?
yes.
I don't see why you need to know that.
So yeah, you want
I-
to check the.
I'm
so-
going on record
so-
saying I believe women.
Oh, fuck
Out
off.
of the corner of your
That-
eye,
that's-
You're not
you
sticking
see a
me with
large
that one.
black spider
That's
crawling
an
up the
interesting
wall.
gambit there, James. Let's see if it pays
Spiders
off.
frighten me. I'd call animal services and keep away from it until
Okay.
I arrive.
So again, check the gauges there on the left-hand
You're
side.
having
So
dinner at a friend's
if
home.
there's a disparity there
Halfway through
between
the
what should be a
appetizer, he
human
tells
and a
you that you've
replicant
been
response,
eating goose
that's when you know
liver
you caught one.
pate.
I'd leave.
You wouldn't report
So
him?
far, we're on par.
No, not if he was my friend.
Again, we're
You're
trying to
suddenly
find questions
very
that would trip
afraid.
her up.
Why?
Do you mean what makes me afraid?
Answer the
So
question.
when you were playing this,
I'm
like,
afraid
was
of
there
dying.
options of
And of
what to
spiders.
ask?
No, the questions. There's three buttons on the right hand
disturbing.
side. There are basically low, medium, and high
You're in a desert,
emotional.
walking along in the sand.
Okay.
When all of a sudden you
So-
look down and see a
And
tortoise.
sorry, it has been a hot minute
It's
since we
crawling
played this,
towards
so
you.
I just wanted to
You
remind
Yeah,
reach
you.
yeah.
down and flip the tortoise
So yeah,
on its
whatever
back.
kind of permutation you think would
Tortoise
work,
lays
essentially.
on its back, its belly baking in the hot sun, beating its legs, trying to turn itself over.
Is this going anywhere?
But it can't. Not without your help. But you're not helping. Why is that?
You mean you don't know? You create these situations and
Oh.
expect a response.
That's a different one.
You're at a restaurant with friends.
So the
One of
high
them orders
emotional ones
lobster.
seem to be
The chef
making
drops the
a
lobster
difference.
into the tub of boiling water while you watch.
I'd leave, and I'd report the restaurant to the authorities.
Your child comes home with a black eye.
I'd ask him who did it, and I'd call the boy's mother.
So this one's a bit touch and go.
You
She's
notice
hiding it quite
someone
well.
attractive across the room.
I'd approach them.
Casey, thoughts?
I don't
You've
know.
been
There was a
drafted
bit of
into the
a
army.
variance there. I'm
During a
thinking.
boot camp hazing,
Oh.
you're
Yeah.
bound, blindfolded, and forced
Also,
to eat worms.
did we say something about
It's
blinking?
disgusting. The
with
army doesn't do
replicants.
that kind of thing anymore.
Blinking
Is
is
that
one
so?
bit of it, but it's also
Of
the
course
pupil
not.
dilation as well.
Yeah.
You'll notice there now, her pupils didn't dilate with that response.
You rent a mountain cabin. On the walls, someone has hung old maps. and
I'm still gonna
Currier
say
and Ives
I'm with
prints.
her.
What are those?
Okay.
Nature art. A deer's head is mounted above the fireplace. A full stag with developed horns.
Okay,
Why
there's
would
dilation
anyone
there.
hang a head on the wall? It was a different time then, wasn't it?
You saying that makes it okay?
Of course not.
A man dressed in rags approaches you on the street and asks for money.
I might
And how
give
many
him
questions
some
were you able to ask?
if I had any to spare.
It's usually like
I
it's
get it.
usually kind of a
You're
series
some kind
of them.
Sexual
Okay.
deviant.
You know.
I'm finished with you. Get me the
So-
police.
You're doing the right thing.
Yes, this is an emergency. Early cues backstage. A customer is harassing me. Thank
Oh.
you.
Put that away. I'm a cop.
Now we wait. If your hand moves, I'll shoot.
Okay.
Please
So
don't
what happens
talk.
if you die?
The sound of your
If
voice
you get
gets
shot?
on my nerves.
We waited
Okay,
there
is
for a
Casey,
few
are you a
minutes.
second or two
The
ahead of
gun
me?
in her eyes never wavered. Any
Uh,
mark
we'll
I'd have
see.
been
No,
a dead
no.
man. But if she
I'm
was a
literally-
replicant, she must not have known it if she was willing to call
I
the police.
am hitting 20 now.
Yep. I'm,
Sorry, I thought you reacted to
This
the
a
gun a second
troublemaker?
before I saw it.
Yeah.
Put your hands
no,
on
I
top
just seen the
of your
gun.
head.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a big fucking
Ray
gun.
McCoy, Rep Detect, BR 61661.
More Pondy.
Never
Where was she
heard.
hiding it?
I report
Yeah.
to Lieutenant Gouza. Call him.
You'll
I
never
work for
tell.
you. Let's go.
Where's your squad car?
Shut your mouth.
Which
Oh.
precinct are we going to?
I'll tell you which one.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah. So yeah.
This was no precinct
That
house
fat
I'd ever
cop
been
just
in.
caught-
I
just
thought
beat
I'd
us.
been in them all.
Yep.
The
Kick the
grunt
shit
to
out of
my
us, in
right
fact.
had the beefy harness bull look down pat, and his twitchy partner in the suit looked like he was just itching to chainsaw a couple of kneecaps. Other than that, everything was hunky-dory.
Ah yes,
Impersonating a
that,
police
you know, the
officer,
look that
huh?
clearly says I
I
want to
guess the new Nexus model
chainsaw
is
some
Mm.
more
kneecaps.
creative
Such a
than
common.
robots.
I'm a
Look.
Blade Runner. You don't believe me? Call
So
Lieutenant Gouza.
so now
There ain't no
we're being
Gouza
accused of
in
being a
the old
replicant
people.
ourselves.
Unless
Oh, yeah.
I've been walking around in a
Well, have we
dream.
passed the test?
There is. That's what
Mm,
always.
that was a long
bugs
time
me.
ago.
The fact that these
And replicants
skin
do have false
jobs always
memories.
Gotta live someone else's life.
No shit.
Just make the call, damn it.
You're just a piece of shit rep with memory implants of this Gouza guy. You understand?
That's impossible.
Rep ain't sounding so creative now. Huh?
You want to avoid conf me? Be my guest.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very convincing. Where you been hiding? The Kipple? Gregorian bring you in? Who else is working that side of the pool these days?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What about that bastard selling all that stuff downtown?
Hey, shut your trap. I'll tell you something, McCoy. I don't even care how you go out. But I know you.
Please tell me you shout out I'm the real McCoy.
And on that,
that's a wasted
you
opportunity if he
tell me
doesn't.
about everyone you met through cars, and I'll guarantee you will go real easy.
Your breath smells like you wiped your ass with your teeth.
You're gonna wish you was neck deep in an off-road reactor vessel by the time I get through with you. Fire up the chair, Holly. You know what I'm gonna come back as in my next life? A priest. There's something holy about how good I am at this.
Mm-hmm.
Freeze!
Oh,
Don't
hey,
go.
our friend.
Hey,
Wait, how? I have a question. How she's standing in front of him and shoots at him?
No time for chit chat, Slim. You
Obviously
wanna
using
save your ass,
buckshot.
you gotta blow this joint right now.
So yeah, it was all a little conspiracy apparently.
Like all true and the Miz.
Very much so. So yeah, we get to a little fun. We get to quite a fun bit of the game now, where we're basically on the run. So what's happening here is that basically the replicants are gonna try and convince us that we're one of them. That all of this has been like, you know, false memories and all that sort of shit. You know. We shall see if that works.
What the hell took you so long?
well, the whole thing is they put in false memories, so it could be true.
Good thing you made
It
your
could be
entrance
true.
when you did.
Good thing one of my snitches saw them escort you out of the club. Otherwise, you'd be 3/4 in the bag right now.
They must have been phony cops hired by the reps for protection.
Cops, yes. Phony.
Oh, they're like the
no.
thing in Rick and Morty. They
I
can only put in
remember
good
Baker.
memories.
He used to be an
Yeah.
SID expert on coercive technique until he was fired from the force a couple of years ago.
A mercenary?
Bingo.
You won't have to worry
Ah.
about getting paid no more.
That stripper you interviewed, she's one of them. Figure it out. She must have made
Confirmed.
the Baker and that
Casey,
other
you were
bozo.
correct. The stripper
Let's
was a
attend to some
replicant.
business.
I'm there.
Oh, according to them.
Nice crowd.
Regular
Nope.
folks deal, just like you and me.
Speak for yourself. You see it anywhere?
Not yet. You sure she's in here?
I'm gonna look backstage.
I'm
Check the
brilliant, and
documents,
there's no one
exits.
around him to, you know, hug or
Mhm.
be happy or, you know, say well done. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, we are taking Steele's word for it here. To be fair. But yes, we are now on the lookout for our replicant. Oh, hello.
Okay, so what you're saying is women are liars.
Actually, I think it's actually more of a victory for equality that replicants can be both men and women. Oh, we're being blinded here. She shone the protector in her eyes, so now she's made a run for it.
She projected herself.
Yes.
Are you shoot? What
Yeah.
the hell?
So, what you didn't quite see there was that there was an electrical box right in front of us.
Jesus.
So we shot that. It then like sparked all the way through and smoked her out of her hiding
Pretty
place.
busy, haven't you, Slim?
Ah.
I think
And
we
there you
can
go.
safely say that one's in biomechanical purgatory.
You had to clear out everything else up here, too.
Hope Early's got insurance.
Putz employs replicants, he ought to expect the worst. Oh, sorry I missed all the laughs.
Next time. It's around here somewhere.
Where'd you park it?
I'm telling you, it was right here. Damn thing must have been stolen.
Maybe you're living in an alternate reality, Slim.
Wait, can you not, like, take her apart and, like, you know, download her information to find out who is one and who isn't one?
No, the unfortunate replicants don't work that way.
The hell is
You're
that?
thinking like the kind of the cyborgy
Maybe they
stuff
just
that
wanna
like
bring you
in
in
other
for
kind of works,
questioning.
but no, they don't
didn't
have that
kill
sort of
Izo.
stuff there. So they actually do kind of work
Think
operate
you're
like a
not what
cabal.
you think you
So
are.
you almost have to try and keep
Are
one
you saying
alive,
I'm a
but
rep? Come on.
they basically
Look
try
on
and
your
self-terminate
face
then if
after
they
that
are
last
caught.
one?
So
The minute you start to feel something for skin jobs, you're in big trouble.
Maybe I just got too
Well, you
much
can
empathy.
say that movie
In
blew
all the
her
wrong
away.
places.
You wanna
indeed,
put me on the machine?
it was
Hey, I don't want anything.
Little
Slim.
fire.
You're the one they want.
Detective Steele, BR6 1354, report to headquarters immediately. Code blue.
So yeah.
What are you
So
gonna
now
do?
we're being
No matter what they say,
we're being
not on my
hunted,
list yet, Slim. You know what
and
that
all the
means.
other Blade Runners are being
And there's no
withdrawn.
use
Funny how that
juicing you if I
works.
can't make some honest chinion off it, you know?
I never appreciated your baser instincts so much.
Guza must have messed up somehow. I'll check it out, see what's going on, and then we'll be meeting again, Slim. You can bank on it.
You got a deal.
And get cracking.
I am not
Change
doing
my mind.
real Slim Shady. I will not stand up.
It is quite funny that, like, you know, even though he's not a particularly skinny person, he's still referred to as slim. It's in quite a derogatory way too. Oh look, twins.
Good God.
Your old fogey stuff.
Logan and Jake.
You.
That's what to say. It's like the two sides of Troy Baker.
Geek. Hoodlum. Dork. Freak.
The comedy stylings of the Siamese twins, everybody. They never get any work done.
Speak.
I have a return package for Mr. Luther Lance.
A return? From where?
Oh. It's our head replicant.
Maybe one of the chimps
Uh-huh.
broke a gasket and tried to bugger him.
They're not available. Come back later. Told you those strains were unstable. Runciter must have discovered the fakes.
Relax.
I agree that Beavis and Butthead would be a lot better if they were surgically attached.
Shut up, Beavis.
Shut up, Mimsy.
Century like a real drug.
Move up here.
Oh,
You are
that is...
like a couple
Fuck
of goddamn
off.
cowboys.
Gentlemen, take a moment to evaluate your situation.
Look, there's very little to steal here. If you can haul out one of the statues, be our guest.
We look like thieves to you, man?
No.
You look like a couple of goddamn...
Uh-oh.
Take a
Not
good
only do we hate you, you're also useful to us.
Aha. Just the people we were hoping to see, right, Lance?
Huh?
Nexus 6. And you came to us.
return to you, my brothers, to ask your help.
Unfortunately, we don't work for the Terrell Corporation anymore.
You've been continuing your research, I trust.
Yeah, of course.
Something drives us on.
The common bond.
Yeah.
Can you
Yes,
have
it's
greater
called
miracles
guilt.
than these? Brothers, my brothers, take a good long look.
Oh my God.
Well now, shall we begin?
So what he's done there now is do a little bit of suggestion to make them think
You
that
wake
they're
up one day and
replicants,
find it's all
Yeah.
been
and therefore
a dream.
sympathetic
You
to the
wake up and
cause.
discover you've been asleep all the time, and the nightmare
So-
is real.
One of
I didn't
them
know what
is,
it
and I
was.
don't know which
Didn't know
ones.
who I was. A cop dangling
Exactly,
on the short
yeah.
end of the
So like,
stick, or a
so
rep
this is the
memory
kind of
banks
stuff
had
like
run out. One thing
that
I was sure of
makes
was
the
that
kind of the
it
likes
could
of
kill easily.
the
That I
Nexus
know
6
I
is so
experienced.
dangerous to
And this
regular people
misinformation, maybe it
is
was
that
the
they
key
are,
to everything that was
again,
happening.
it's
Maybe there was a lot more than what met my eye. All I
it's
had
not
to do
just
was
having
stay
the
alive
physical
long
acumen
enough to
and
find
the
out.
ability to kind of like, you know, deceive. They also have like insane charisma. Like they could easily have a cult of personality around them and make themselves a powerful person, you know, kind of way. It's you know, it is that kind of, it is that sort of kind of quality to it, that's why that they're being hunted as well. It's like we know we made a terrible mistake creating these things for our kind of like requirements and needs, but now it's a case of like, okay, now we have to actually control them, and we can't. In fact, if anything, we're really fucking struggling to. So yeah, so this is these are the kind of like the type of like, you know, people entities, whatever you want to qualify it as, that they have to deal with and have to terminate.
The whole point here is that they're not people.
Well, that is the discussion around the movie and indeed the game, is whether
Oh, yeah.
replicants actually count as human or lives or something in between. And like I said, like if you were to watch the movie, you could establish some level of interpretation from how the movie ends. The game, I think, is probably working on a more superficial level. Like it's more of a case where like McCoy is kind of getting I wouldn't say the other side of the argument, but he has a little bit more free will in terms of like how he can feel about this whole thing.
I hope you get
Yeah.
paperwork for all these vehicles.